Should be live. How's it going? Got a Dark Elf day today. Turns out I have not played them yet. I've played Beastmen, Betonia Chaos Dwarves, Demons, Normal Dwarves, Empire, Cathay Greenskins, High Elves, Khorne, Kislev. Maybe not Lizardmen, maybe not Norska. I did play Nurgle, Skaven, Slanesh, Tomb Kings, Tzeentch, Coast, Chaos. There's only like a few factions left. We're almost done. Look at that. Diomed, hello. The tournament starts in 50 seconds, but late check-ins are welcome. If anyone wants to join in, feel free. It is open to all players, and even if you're new, you still get entered into that raffle for a DLC of your choosing. Should be fun. I think I'll be trying some sick Hydra builds today. Probably some Medusa builds. I want to use the buffed shades. Shades are a little cheaper now. Maybe that'll make a huge impact. I don't know. Should be good. Much excitement. And where we go. The tournament has begun. Matches are here. Caradoc. Nice. Yo, yo. Alright, let's do this. I have full confidence everything will go fine. Tomb Kings, Glade of the Everqueen. It's pretty nasty, actually. Screaming Skull Catapults, man. Don't know what the best way to deal with them is. Very annoying. Little unit. Also, I do have to do a proper core and tryharding and get to at least the finals with them. You buff anything else? Nope. This first balance patch is meant to be fairly mild. We're gonna wait to see what CA does for patch 8.1, and then we can act accordingly. I'm gonna hold hands with the Dark Elf Medusa. Yo, they got some crazy claws going. They got those super long nails. Pretty spooky. But alright. Tomb Kings. Oh man. Yo, I feel so tired today. I'm looking forward to just a big old nap, maybe. It's Nurgle, but with slavery. Dark Elves? Dark Elves ain't Nurgle. I don't see that. Let's see here. There's some crazy Khalida builds lately. There are some crazy Khalida builds I gotta be worried about. Tomb Kings, they like the Lord Snipe. They like their Screaming Skull Catapults. They like being real annoying. They can do man-tide strats. It's brutal. Yeah, it's starting to get warm again here. Weather's been going crazy lately. But I imagine summer will be in full force soon enough. Let's see, if I'm playing versus Tomb Kings, how do I want to do this? The Tomb Kings. So they have Skeleton Horsemen. I think my Dark Rider should trade okay into them. Even Nahakara Horsemen, it should be okay. Yeah, let's try something like this, mayhaps. Oh, yeah, Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings kind of a can be a very difficult faction to handle. Are Witch Elves good into Tomb Kings? I don't have to worry about the chariots, at least. Thankfully for me, the chariots do get bogged down by my Dark Riders and Cold One Knights and the like. Seems like a matchup for Corsairs too. I'm just gonna wing it for game number 1. Let's just have a fun game. See how it goes. This one's kind of wild, but who knows? I feel like if I just micro well enough, we're good. Noble Naldor, 40 stream streak. Congratulations. All races are Nurgle with caveats. What is the least Nurgle race? Is there a single pure race in Warhammer? Lizardmen, I guess. I guess you could say it's, you know, they're pretty animalistic. I feel like that kind of lines up with Nurgle. The dwarves, they're all about stagnation. Is the Hydra cheaper now? It's not. But I kind of just want to try it because I haven't gotten a feel for it in a long time. I have played against it with Ponty piloting the Hydra, and it's not the worst if it doesn't route. So if the Hydra routes, you're just screwed. But it does have potential to stick around for basically the whole battle if you do it right. And it has some cool breath attacks. Hey, still Neil! 60 stream streak, what a flex! Oh no. Whoopsies, you accidentally ratioed the poor guy. Hey, hello, Zachin Man, hello. Full spearman game, maybe. No spears this battle, but I'm pretty excited to test this out. So I do have 2 War Hydras, like a mad lad. If he has Chosen of the Gods, they will take a lot of damage. Ushapti, the natural predator to Hydras. But they're still pretty tanky, they can kind of dodge. I wonder if they can actually get the job done. I got Malice Dark Blade because I'm feeling spicy today. What's not to love? It's just a good Dark Elf build, you know? Just a bunch of fun stuff. This is the most Ponty game we will be playing today. Unless the Hydras slap, in which case we're gonna keep going for Hydras, but yeah, let's start it off nice and chill. The opportunity was too good to pass up. Oh man. Yo, YouTube, now's a chance. Twitch is infighting. Get the superiority going. Pointy ears with pointy sticks. I like that idea. That's more of a high elf thing though, isn't it? So 15 units, fun. Malice should be cool. He has a bunch of fun abilities. He doesn't die very easily. And he's pretty good at hunting down characters. This build should generally be pretty hard to take care of if you're going for the Khalida snipe style. It's a little out of meta nowadays, but some people will still go for it. Going for old meta though. Cetra the Imperishable. Wow. Pretty fun. I dig it. We got some horse archers. Sick. Now, these guys can barely do anything to the Hydra. Things got regeneration. So I'd actually, I think I uptrade if he's shooting at the Hydras. We got our Dark Shards over here. They're chilling, doing great. So we can burn some ammo. Very nice. A little bit of a wasted volley on the Tomb Kings. Could be useful later on, you never know. Citra has, he does have Usirens. Gonna dodge with one Hydra. Not the other though. Slight misplay. I think we're doing alright. Now what do I want? He has a lot of cavalry. He has the big man Citra. And a lot of infantry. I think I will counter with some infantry of my own. I'll go with Corsairs because I don't like all these giant guys over here. Gonna be a little annoying taking this point, but I'm here mostly for the trading game. Tomb Kings are a faction that is kind of just trying to trade. And they're not that hard to wipe out. Let's see if I can also maybe catch some of their cav. We already got one of them, actually. Hydra's got a pretty decent hit on them. These ones, though, I think they're probably going to escape. Kind of an awkward situation. I don't want to be losing the points. I'm already down at 150 tickets, actually, so it's going to be a little awkward. But, yeah, I just got to secure this one. And we're chilling. There we go, finally. Alright, next up. We gotta win this middle fight. Cetra cannot murder everything here. If he does, that would be very bad. The Hydras, though, they're alive. They should be able to cook, and my opponent's gonna have to overextend quite a bit to actually get on this point. Should be able to secure this one pretty well. Let's see if I can get a nice little flanking breath attack here. They're actually retreating. Interesting. So it looks like he just wants to value trade me. Which is kind of rough because I've already given up so much space here. I think it's fine. Let's see how good this breath attack is. Not bad, honestly. Half HP on those guys. He's gonna get some stalkers. That's totally fine. I am getting shot up a lot, but I don't think this is the end of the world. Hydra will be fine. He'll live. And I think I will get me some Cold One Knights here. The Ushapti will be pushed back. And if I sit on 2 points for long enough, we win. So it's on my opponent to try and get a push in here. It's Witch Elf time too. It'll be great. Well, I guess we'll just see how this goes. I don't know if Cetra can do that much. Ah, there it is. So now the Screaming Skull Catapult. Now I can outrange that a little bit. Sepulchral Stalkers will just avoid. I think I'll just give some space. I can maybe get some flanking with my cavalry too. So this wall will be very difficult to push through. I'm getting a little bit of damage though. I don't think I'm falling behind too much. And the Ushapti are stuck in the trees, which is kind of perfect for me. That's pretty good. I have to be careful when I dive this thing, because potentially I can get really screwed. Ouch. If I don't get a good enough dive. I think this will be okay though. Just a couple horsemen along the flanks. We'll see how many Skeleborgs my opponent decides to get in here. We're gonna kill a couple skeleton horsemen on this end. I don't think they'll be able to close the gap in time with those Skeleborgs. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna have a Cetra fight versus the Hydra. We'll see who does better. Oh crap, those are the Stalkers. Never mind. I'm dipping. Woo! Thankfully we didn't take too much damage. And this Hydra gets a little bit of nibbling on Cetra, which is exactly what we're looking for. Honestly, this ain't too bad. It's a very slow fight we find ourselves going into here, but that in theory is good for the Hydra. See if I can just chuck out a random burning head here. Ooh, all right, that one's good. Very nice. And then we're gonna bully Cetra. I think that is the play. Wow, that burning head was nasty. That was straight nasty, man. That did some value. And he hasn't been killing. I see he even hit some units over there. Jeez. Okay. That's pretty good. I gotta make sure this thing doesn't break though, but I'd say this is a fine situation. They're worried about defending their artillery piece, which is kind of perfect. Then I can kind of just take a fight over on this flank, where it's a little more awkward for the Tomb Kings. Hydra's doing okay. Let's get some value here with the Malice. I'm just gonna keep shadowing Cetra. Gotta be careful with my infantry to make sure they don't overextend or anything. But that's pretty doable. Let's get another fat burning head over there. That'll be pretty good. As long as the Hydras barely live. If they barely stick around the whole game, the amount of healing they get done is crazy. Screaming Skull Catapult we're mitigating by just spaghetti lining. There we go. And then what we can do is I can chuck out a breath attack here maybe. I'm gonna Zarkan it because I accidentally misclicked the ability. Okay, let's see if we can get some cavalry in. Then we're gonna go again, trying to slip through those lines. I've summoned down most of my units now, so it's actually pretty important that we get in here. There's the passive. But I think this is going okay. If enough units route off, it's kind of fine with me. Passive is going to be up for a little while. This is just skeleton horsemen, not a big deal. We got the stalkers shut down. I think as long as I just get all my units into the fight, we'll be okay. Accidentally used that a bit early, but it's fine. Let's check out yet another burning head. The favorite ability of the Tomb Kings. There we go. And this should be able to shut down that artillery piece, that very nasty artillery piece. In the meantime, we have the Hydras still crushing it, by the way. Let's chuck another breath attack over here. Very nice. Looking like this is going well. I should be able to secure that point soon. And then I just spam Witch Elves into the horizon now. And then I think we're okay. Not bad so far. Casted, though, getting a little wrecked. If there's one thing that I would be a little worried about, it's that. See, they're desperately trying to defend this point. Which is good for me. They know that if they lose it, they're in a very bad position. And the Hydras stand. So far, just being an absolute menace. Getting lots of damage in. I'm going to need to actually hold these points, though. My backline dive did not go as well as I would have hoped for, as the artillery piece is still alive. Value trading is pretty bad, actually. I'd say that's a fairly bad sign. That's a pretty bad sign, generally. It doesn't mean we are out of the picture. I still have 2 Hydras, remember. It's still an absolute menace. Getting lots of damage in. Zarkan is alive. This is a massive army, though. This is a massive army. Oh, that's not good. I should have just ignored the artillery piece. That's a big misplay I keep making. I keep trying to go for the Tomb King's artillery and getting punished for it. Okay, here's the thing, though. I still have a lot of dudes. Still have these Witch Elves. Still have the Hydras here. It's not impossible to get some work done. Witch Elves are just gonna rush in. It'll be great. Let's see here. Yeah, I just need a burning head over here. I'm totally gonna get army wiped, but you know what? Let's just play it out. I'm gonna hope that these Witch Elves are enough. I'll definitely have enough Dark Riders to hold on to this point, because I'm banking money right now. Okay, there we go. Witch Elves are doing pretty good. These ones can get their Rampage ability in. Okay, and then I just gotta hold this point against the tide of the Tomb Kings. And we're just gonna hope that the Hydras cook here. Cetra had to peel away, which is good for me. Gonna get another Dark Rider in. Okay, this ain't too bad as long as, yeah. As long as Cetra doesn't cook too hard here. then maybe it'll be all right. There you go. We got some crumbling going. Have capture weight. Okay, so next up is this position. So obviously we have the Hydras here. They're still alive. Very perfect. But can they actually clear fast enough is the problem. That one's taking some big damage, which is never much appreciated. And the home point ain't looking too hot either. I do still have a ticket lead though, so it's not the end of the world, but I'd say this is sketchy. Come on. Live, you darn Hydra, live. How's this fight going? Well, I have capture weight. I guess that's pretty solid. For the time being anyways, until Setra routes off everything. I'm kind of hoping for some friendly fire maybe from the artillery pieces. But is this gonna go well? I think they're finally gonna rout. Dang. Alright, yeah, that's GG. See what played? I have still not figured out Tomb Kings yet. Unfortunate. Double Hydra was nifty, but I was not able to get their breath attacks off. Brutal. Let's take a look at the values. They're okay. I think the Hydras are They're very Even with the Ushopti not really killing them and them sticking around. It's pretty bad. The biggest issue though is this Scream Skull catapult routing off all my fools. I almost wonder if I should have taken a bolt thrower, but I don't know if that's actually worth. Oh, Tomb King's in the meta currently. Not bad. Yo. They ain't too bad. I don't think they're indestructible. I know generally a lot of elf factions can have a hard time against them. I should have had my caster on a flying mount. I think she could have gotten a lot of work done on the catapults. You can probably just counter the catapults with magic. Have you ever considered giving Vampire Coast a better buff than just bloated corpses? I feel like most of the buffs for a large amount of factions got useful buffs. So Vampire Coast is actually a very strong faction right now. So they actually didn't need much of a buff. The bloats is just to give players maybe something to play around with. There's a lot of other factions too where the buffs didn't make much of a difference. Like the green skin Black Orc Big Boss, that was kind of rough. Oh, it's Tomb Kings again. Okay. It's Tomb Kings again. So let's adjust the build. Let us adjust. Malice was actually not the worst, but I think I should probably get someone a little bit more effective. Yeah, this will be good. Tomb Kings are scary, but I think I'll have the proper tech to beat them this time around. You gotta be real careful running all that infantry. This should be good though. It should be fine. Those horse archer skirmishers were kind of nasty. I could do something like this though. Okay. You know what? I still kind of want to have fun with playing the Dark Elves. I just have to make sure I don't throw this game. How'd the Dark Riders feel? The Dark Riders felt okay. Witch Elves did not feel that great, actually. I might just rely on Corsairs and Bleak Swords as my main infantry. Let's see here. I don't know how I feel about the repeater crossbows either. They felt pretty vulnerable. So we'll try something like this. This build feels strange, but maybe it's great. Let's do it. I'm hoping I can get some quick wins, because I gotta come back in this tournament. Let me take a look. Right now, yeah, I gotta win one match. If I win 2 matches, that probably puts me in an okay position to make top 4. We'll see. Bleak Sword maxing, probably not terrible. 100 gold bloats. I don't want them to be spammed. Though I think if bloats were 100 gold, I think they would be spammed. It's very hard not to get 100 gold with the bloats. And then that would just kind of be annoying. But yeah. Bloated corpses are what? They're 350 right now? The thing is, if you make them cheap where they're generally usable, then in the situations where they are really good, they'd be kind of crazy. For example, defending your spawn zone. Bloated corpses as a summon to defend your spawn is kind of crazy. I might do more adjustments though next patch. Like, I think next patch, basically all the units we've changed, I'll go over the prices and see what could use touching up, what could use some buffs, what could use some nerfs. I think mostly the price changes will be boosting, and then I can add like a whole new wave of units that I'm tuning up. So bloats might get a small cost reduction again next patch. All right, this one should be fun. This time I got the Medusas, and I got a Burning Head Flyer to actually kill off the artillery when it gets spawned in. I think not having an answer to the Screaming Skull Catapult was my downfall last game. And I will fix it this time. Now is the time. Medusa Kite is also really good to stop my opponent from just kind of idling and doing nothing. You try your best to make the big boss work. Yeah, I might, I think the foot cost reduction is good, and I think a cheaper price. You should basically be like, you know, a little anti-large support unit. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, you should be a little anti-large support dude. Oh, we're gonna catch some Skelly Horse Archers? I think we are. If they decide to charge in, they're just gonna die. Big volley, there we go. We got a Grand Hierophant Kotep. Gonna see a little bit of Lord sniping maybe. Alley-oop. The Jukes. I'm gonna dodge that spell over there. So far, so good. Woo, that was a close one though. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, just kind of poking. Medusas will be very important. Whoop. You gotta make sure you dodge here as much as possible. Oh man, that volley is nasty. Okay, pretty good. And then I'm going to keep up the kite, I think. Should go pretty well. Let's get a bit of a volley over here. I think the shades will be pretty nice. They can get a lot of work in. This will be a tiny bit annoying, but Kotep's not the greatest fighter in the world. Should be able to bully him pretty bad. Might be able to hit multiple units here at the same time, by the way, with this. Okay, and there we go. We have the Stalkers again. We've been seeing a lot of Tomb Kings players recently. I wonder where that's gonna end up. Okay, Kotep's taking some damage though. Let's see if we can get some bullying done. Want to stop this skeleton march on my face. Okay. But yeah, I mostly want to stop the skeleton march so that my shades can get the work done. It's a little awkward though. I'm taking a lot of damage. We're also doing decent amounts too though. I just have to keep an eye on whatever the Ushapi are focusing and then just keep dodging. I think if I basically do that, I'll be okay. Whoop. A little bit of a dodge needed. How's the double Medusa doing? Doing okay. One of them's accidentally gone a little too far. But I should be able to finally kill off these stalkers, which is good. And so far, so good. This is okay. There's finally that artillery piece. That's my cue to try and shut it down. And I'm just gonna chuck out an overcast burning head on it. I think that should be good enough. Kotep is getting his filthy magic on my face though, which is very annoying. If I can get it out in time, we'll be fine. How many spells is he gonna cast though? I guess we'll see. In the meantime though, it ain't the end of the world. I have to be careful not to overextend with my dudes, but Lord should not die to some carrion. That's for sure. Okay, and is Kotep gonna cast a spell? I think no. So we're just gonna chuck that out. Ah, the dodge! Look at him! We're still gonna get a pretty good burning head though. So that's not too bad. I think one more of those might even get it done. A lot to micro though, I must say. Did I accidentally land my Lord too? I think I did. That's a little brutal. She has to be very careful that she don't die. There's the cooldowns coming back again too. I'll say this is not entirely comfortable. Should be able to take off into the air though. That's good. Okay, we got the Necrotech shut down pretty hard. This ain't too bad. Especially with this giant infantry blob. I think my opponent's misplaying ever so slightly. But they're definitely making it kind of sketchy. They're kind of tussling in a manner that is very annoying. That should be a solid second burning head though. Should get the job done. Let's go ahead and kill that Necrotect. Medusas do have anti-large, so they're kind of perfect for that. And the damage on the catapult was mid. Dude, that catapult is such a menace. We're still doing okay though. But this is really showing how annoying the Tomb Kings can be. It can be so hard to shut down sometimes. Gonna dodge the stalkers at least. But yeah, it's showing Burning Head is not exactly the greatest of solutions here. It's okay, but only if you land the hits just right. Okay, and we got a Tomb Scorpion. Interesting. Sure. I wonder how a second cast will go even. Woo! Yeah, this Lord dancing in the back though is... She is actually pretty hard to shut down at least. The stalkers are basically having to hound her down constantly. Okay, let's try that. I just want this artillery piece dead, man. How do you kill this thing? Is that gonna do it? It's still alive. I can't believe it. He's probably thinking the same about my Lord, though. Alright. If she can dismount it, maybe? Dude, this thing's indestructible. But hey, not committing too much cavalry is saving my butt here. If I put in even a little bit more cavalry, I could see how I just fall behind over time. This is good, though. Medusa's continuing to work. Opponent's going to try and make a transition here, but we got the Medusas on the job. Oh, geez, those stalkers. Dodging it. Okay, no, we're good. Man, this thing's actually indestructible. It's kind of crazy. I think that last burning head did actually land. But the thing is just so tanky. Kotep, though, he ain't nearly as tanky. And I think my opponent is finally going to get kited out. Though with much effort. This was actually quite a bit of a match, and I'll have to figure out how exactly I want to beat Tomb Kings in the future. Because my usual strats are not working as well as I would hope for. In fact, the thing's still alive. I can't believe it. The thing straight up doesn't die. What is going on, man? It's the most indestructible little thing I've seen in a while. Alright, big shot on Cod Tap though. Anti-large missiles from the Medusas. Getting the work done. We have a capture point over here. We can keep bullying Cod Tap. It's still alive. Maybe I just need to spam fireballs until it's dead. Alright, Cod Tap's gonna go down though. This Medusa's back. I will say the Medusas are a nice touch. They don't solve everything, but they're pretty cool. There you go. Nope. I think she friendly fired some of the boys. A little awkward, but it's okay. At the end of the day, I think we're gonna win this one. Not bad, but man, Tomb Kings really do cause a lot of pain, don't they? This thing's even still alive. I can't believe it. We got some Chosen of the Gods back here too. Resummoned. They're not gonna be perfect for this situation though. I think I'm just gonna chuck out a burning head down the pipe. I'll kill all these skeletons. And I think we're okay. Spicy. Yeah, I really need to figure out how to beat Tomb Kings. There are definitely ways to get it done. I just need to learn and practice. Because it's not as simple as just burning heading their infantry. You need to be really careful that you don't just get artillery and range kited into oblivion. So that was a very nice burning head, but that's because my opponent lined up basically as hard as possible. Of course, Cod Tap is dead. It doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, even well, can Fireball snipe the Screaming Skull artillery pieces? I think they probably can. You know, let's just get a Bleak Sword in here. It's gonna get a little bit of a rear charge, but those are Cold One Knights. They're kind of perfect for this. And I think this is basically it. I just gotta secure this point. This one's gonna fall. But at the end of the day, we went on 1 point. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. The artillery piece doesn't get an infinite value, but if it sticks around for a few minutes, it's still pretty rough. The dismounting micro is actually really good too. So maybe it has to be fireballs that does it. It was kind of in the trees, but that did diminish the amount of damage it could get done. So it's not a terrible trade-off for me. But yeah, Tomb Kings are definitely scary faction. Maybe you can just armor rush them. Just go for the main tide, bring them down. But that's a very risky idea. I haven't tested it out yet. At least I made a little bit of progress by winning this match. Nasty. How do you even deal with the Casket of Souls without melee? A Casket of Souls is actually way... Oh, I forgot to save the last game. Casket of Souls is actually really easy to dodge. It's not nearly as bad. I won't be too worried about it. It's a Screaming Skull catapult that has enough DPS that it's kind of required to be shut down. Let's take a look. Shades, not bad. Lord did pretty good with the burning heads because of that one giant burning head. The Ushopti were a menace. It's a very good, just basic Tomb Kings build. But we did win in the end. Off of just raw DPS. We did eventually clear them out. But okay, I need proper magic. What's my anti-artillery? Back when unit sizes were large, fireballing was not bad because it's 3 fireballs to kill 3 artillery pieces. But with 4, it's gonna take a lot longer. There's maybe like a manticore summon to just distract it for some time. You have chill winds, I guess. I don't know. Blade wind. Yeah, does blade wind get the job done? Let me see. Let me see real quick. And we'll set them up as the Tomb Kings. Do this. If Blade Wind gets the job done, I don't have to worry much. If it doesn't, it's a little sketchy. Blade Wind's really cheap and it does a lot of damage. And dodging it is much more difficult. Are the 450 or 500 Dark Riders better? They're both great. It's hard to say which one is better. But they both basically get the job done. Alright, let's see this. Alright, that's what I get for not putting her on a mount. Take 2. Blade Wind gets very mild amount of damage done. How about this? Also not great. And maybe I do just have to fireball the thing to death. Let me see. Fireball has pretty good range. You can go Laura Fire. Put her on let's say Manticore. Maybe this works. Okay, I basically have to win my next 2 games if I want to make top 4. I'll have enough time to play 2 games, but yeah, we really gotta win it. Alright, let's take a look. So if I normal fireball, let's take a look at the tech. I believe one normal fireball gets the job done. It does. That cuts its damage by 1/4 for just 1 fireball. This is not bad. It's a little slow. COD Tep can increase the cooldowns. But I think if you're the Tomb Kings player, you would feel pretty bad losing 400 gold for 2 fireballs. If you dismount, the fireball won't veer off either. It acquires its target at the time of shooting. This is probably the most efficient way to go about it. Now, 20 Winds of Magic for 800 gold is not the greatest. But you don't need to spend the full 20. If it's just 1 Screaming Skull Catapult, it's not nearly as scary. And what are they going to do? De-summon and re-summon it? That doesn't feel very good either. So they're kind of just stuck. And like 2 fireballs basically gets the job done. You don't even have to overcast. Me every stream, don't waste resources and magic trying to take out their artillery. Screaming Skulls are different, but also, yeah, I definitely wasted a lot of burning heads there. It works really well with greenskin artillery because they dismount when they rout, and that incurs an HP loss technically because the artillery has HP. And then they'll just shatter after. But the Tomb Kings, I don't know if they dismount. Blade Wind does not kill the catapult, and Buna, because it's a artillery piece, it only counts as 2. Or it counts as 4 entities. So Buna would actually do like no damage. Army Heal restores entities. At most it would restore 1. That would be pretty crazy. I don't know if it revives artillery pieces. Maybe it does. That would be bad because the fireball isn't damaging the little skeledudes. Marathion a dragon. It's not even a unit. I take this ability just to make it stop shooting for a bit. Alternatively, we just ignore it, but The unit is very hard to ignore. Stuff like Pit of Shades. Very long wind-up time, though. Army heal does revive artillery pieces. I see. I'll have to be careful about that. Alright, I need to find my next match so we can win it. And then play another one. And then hopefully we'll make it to top 4. Penumbral Pendulum. Let's give it a go. Might as well test it out. Based off the dodging from last game, we can basically expect anyone to dodge spells. So Pendulum would not be worth it unless they're not paying attention. Well, let's just see. So if I just normal Pendulum, like, you know, maybe if it does hit, it's amazing. It is 36 damage. DPS is pretty good. But like, that's 13 winds of magic and it didn't actually do anything. The fireball so far I think is the best because it immediately takes out an entity. I just have to make sure that they don't get a heal or something. Alright. Let's do it. All right, what am I doing? I'm on Blasphemous Snowfield. All right. I actually don't like this map very much. There's not a lot to do with the points. You're basically just fighting. It's not the end of the world, but yeah. Piercing bolts of burning. If the opponent doesn't dodge, it's great. But it's such a long wind up. They can I think they can actually, if they dismount, you kill the artillery pieces, but I think they can actually push the artillery pieces outside of its range, which would make it kind of a no-go, unfortunately. All right, let's do this. Fingers crossed. Ba ba ba. It's Wood Elves. It's the Wood Elves. They have Doombolt. I can have Doombolt. Yo, maybe I should just run Doombolt more often. Dark Elves with Doombolt is really annoying to a lot of people. But this map has a lot of trees and terrain. I don't know how good it is at landing its hits. Thing is, the Wood Elves can also bring Doombolt, right? You just get Doombolt battles into the horizon. Even just one catapult gives a leadership debuff. Yeah, but it's not, they're not super accurate. So it'll end up missing a lot. The reload time is also pretty high. Like once they're, you know, rapid firing, you can switch targets a lot. But if it's just one, it's not nearly as good. At least in my head. Maybe it still absolutely crushes, but yeah. Don't think Dark Elves win the skirmish fight versus Wood Elves. Yeah, I don't think I'll be skirmishing the Wood Elves. That seems like it may very well be a terrible idea. But I have other plans. I have other, much more grand plans. Let's see where we're on. So we're on Blasphemous Snowfield. Does anyone know how the Wood Elf infantry trades here? Like, how do Dryads do versus Witch Elves? Witch Elves might not be that great versus Dryads. What would I rather have? Coursers, Bleak Swords? Bleak Swords have the silver shields. So as far as just a solid base unit of infantry goes, maybe I want that. Burning Head Cooks. Yeah, Burning Head's good. Oh boy. Alright, come on. Unfortunately, my opponent had to drop, but that's okay. So no woodies. I need to find someone else and win a match, though. In the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's doable. But yeah, if I want to hit top 4, is what we gotta do. Playing Dark Elves. I know High Elves are Cathay, but at least I get to see Druchii Lords die. Yeah. Although I haven't lost a Lord today. Only 2 matches though. Games have been kind of slow. 4 matches all I need though. Come on, 4 matches. I'm hoping I can up queue into someone. Looks like Von Karstein lost a match too, so maybe they get wrecked. And I don't have to worry about them in the semis or finals. Excuse me. Day is still young. You'll get your Lord loss yet. I think, you know, it'll be with the melee Lords, like when I run Malekith. Then we're practically guaranteed to have it happen. What truly counters Wood Elves? Cheap armored cavalry, i.e. Bretonia. The High Elves. Anyone who can outclass Wild Riders does pretty well versus them. And it can be very painful too. You also have just cheap cavalry that'll uptrade, like Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings with their Screaming Skull catapults are very annoying for Wood Elves to deal with. Many an option, isn't there? When did they make it so that skeleton units and vampire counts only have 2 capture points? Long time ago. We're talking more than 3 years ago. They did that because vampire counts were dominating just by spamming infantry, and it was not very fun. Now they do very well spamming infantry, but not nearly as dominant. Cathay Peasant Spears should have 5 capture weight. I think like the crumbling units having less capture weight makes sense. All expendable units having less capture weight's a little weird because they're so easily routed. Maybe with Skaven slaves that would be a little too intense. I think it's a bit of a toss-up. The thing is, like, the game doesn't really fairly balance capture weight between units. Like, a unit of spears, human spears, is very different from, like, a unit of Clan Rats. Because of the speed difference. So you have weird situations, too, where, like, a super cheap 350 gold Nurgling has 5 capture weight. And can Vanguard. Oh, geez, Von Karstein again. Yo. Oh, this will be nasty. Oh wait, no. Different person. My bad. They might still pick Tomb Kings up. Bleak Spire Labor Camp. They're counterpicking. Bretonia has no expendable units. Yeah, it's not specifically expendable. The idea was it was supposed to target chaff spam. And then they just never looked into the system ever again. And it has been shaping the meta ever since. That's kind of how it goes oftentimes. Change the trait to peasant / knight. Yeah, but like, do they have expendable? I forget. Pope Patty's the Bretonia main though. Greenskins, Beastmen, Vampire counts. I'll go versus Beastmen maybe? Sure, let's try Beastmen. Beastmen should be a fairly fast battle, which I do like. But what magic is best? I can go fairly vanilla strats if I really want to. Get a giant Malekith, but he can be a little slow against Beastmen at times. This is a great combo though. Looking good. Yeah, it should be fun. I think this will be a fun game. Yeesh. Alright. Yeah, this will be kind of crazy. Maybe I just get wrecked. Who knows? Okay, this is a weird build. This one right here is kind of strange. I still think I'll be okay versus Beastmen. What's the big scary for them? Like, they basically just have main tide rushes, right? There's not that much that's crazy about them, right? I don't have to be too worried, I think. I think. I just need to try and get this match done quickly so that I can queue into another match. 'Tis all. Alright, how do I feel about this build? Feels positively okay. This is kind of fine. It's just the normal Dark Elf build. Not a whole lot going on. This is what I'm happy with. I think it can come down mostly just to micro, right? Bro fears the greenskins. You know, I will say, I wasn't looking forward to it. Greenskins can be quite tanky. Let's take a look at my position on the leaderboard. Yeah, I'm gonna need to win a game. Win this one. If I win this one, I'm probably making top 4. If I can win 2 more, I think we're guaranteed. I will have 17 minutes for this match, which is a very good amount of time. Matches do not go that long most of the time. Usually we're talking about 10 minutes is what I would expect. So I'm feeling pretty good. Let's just get everyone in. I've got a very expensive Marathi. Like a really expensive Marathi. She's like 2,800 or something. We got a mana battery. And this lady's just gonna charge up for Marathi. Nice and simple, like. Then we just spam magic. She has Melkoth, she has Doom and Darkness. Lots of easy leadership breaks for us in the future. What's not to love? It's just like a Dark Elf kite with some infantry. We have a lot of infantry in reserve too, in case we need to take a big fight against a million gores or something. Some manticores for even more leadership destruction. I'm happy with this. Shades only win. Maybe in the semis. Hey, what are we looking at? Corn gores, some centigores, we got some pestigores. Gores for days. Very fun. No idea where that lord is. Just gonna check out that power of darkness. And then maybe go for some light charges. So just light charges. We don't actually want to commit to it, because that can be quite dangerous for me. Got a little web of shadows dude over here. Okay, this should be pretty good actually. This fight against the centigores. We'll just keep running away. You need to use this. Then I'm going to try and debuff these guys. Then I'm going to try and bolt this dude's face. Now he has a Melkoth, so that's not too bad. Centigores are forced to back up, which is good. And we have given up the points. Now that is fine by me. I don't think that's a very big deal at all, actually. I just need to get the kiting going, and then I'm happy. Marathi, though, kind of getting slowed down. Not the prettiest of situations, but I think she'll still be okay. No sign that she's going to get caught or anything here. Ooh, should have chased down those centigores, though. A little bit of a misplay there, but there we go. We got a solid route. I can chuck in the assassin, too. Okay, now what? Let's try the Crows of Cain. I think they can definitely do some cool stuff. Yeah, we'll just get them in there. I have... Oh, whoops, I accidentally maxed out my magic. Whoopsies. A little bit of a misplay. We got the axe throwers in here, camping my dudes, but that's fine. And the Crows of Cain are certainly... yeah, Crows of Cain are gonna murder these guys. I think this is okay. This is okay. Aside from being down on points so hard, it's not too bad. We'll see how the Crows of Cain do here, actually. He landed while I was looking away, and that is actually going to let a lot of my guys get caught. Yeah, it's just Marathi the Manticore now. That's a little awkward. Though with this assassin here with the web of shadows, I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna be able to get some pretty nasty charges here all around, so that'll be good. And then a big old leadership debuff maybe into what hopefully will just be a ton of value. I do question a little bit, but that is a very nasty leadership debuff. And it's gonna last for some time, along with the Manticore terror routing everything. I think it's okay. It's okay. Could be slightly better. We're gonna have some ton of cavalry getting in here too, from both sides. It's gonna make it a little bit more awkward. And I am on ticket pressure too. Not enough to be super worried, but enough where I can't exactly take my time. And that second Centigore charge is probably gonna doom me. I think we might be screwed. This ain't looking good at all. Can kill off these Centigores at least. But yeah, this ain't it. I got caught up in the infantry. Manticore's still doing good though. Okay, big terror outs at least. The Corsairs should be okay. I kind of need my passive to trigger though. Marathi's kind of getting stuck up, which I really don't like. But I do have the Crows of Cain back. I need them to rear charge these Beastmen forces, I think. Oh, this is very awkward, this mosh pit fight. Okay, here's the thing though. Manticore should be able to do great. I might be able to get a solid charge here with some cavalry. And then if I get the Crows of Cain in here too, and rear charge them, along with the passive triggering, that could just route everything. And I kind of need that very badly. But I think the Manticore should be good for this. It's kind of the one job it's supposed to do. And indeed, it does do that job very well, doesn't it? Wow. Okay, well, that went pretty well. That's a big fat route. And that's gonna hurt quite a bit. Unfortunately, there's more cavalry that I have to deal with. But it's a start. Doom and Darkness is just a good... It's just a good spell. Let's just keep getting those Dark Riders in. Let the Manticore keep cooking. Come on. Come on. I need to get at least one capture point going. Without it, I'm really screwed. Maybe I can go for a Lord Snipe if I'm lucky. Oh, he's taking some deeps, actually. That's not too bad. Where's the Manticore at? Okay, I'm gonna chuck Marathi and the Manticore at his face. And then hopefully that's enough. Come on, baby. Dang it, he's gonna escape. Ah, that's rough. Alright, well, let's see how this pans out. I can get the assassin on the point. The thing is yeah, I'm really down on time here. How's the Manticore doing? Manticore's kind of suffering. Ooh, gets a big hit on the Lord, though. Come on. Come on. Okay, I got the point. That's good. And I have my little caster here, too. She'll be able to help out. Okay. Alright, I give it a hard maybe. I just need my boys on the other point. Marathi should be able to chase this guy off just fine. Okay, nice. Got the birds on these guys. Okay, it's actually not too bad. It's gonna be a little sketchy. But if I can successfully chase this man off, then maybe we actually have a chance. It's gonna be difficult though. So there's the point captured. But Lord loss penalty is gonna be massive. I'm gonna chuck out another Manticore in here. Gotta get that Manticore going. Should be able to get some pretty nifty cav charges too. Oh my god, he rallied. Hopefully he didn't notice. Crap. Come on, Marathi, just kill him. Just kill the guy, please. Come on, Marathi, please. I need this Lord loss penalty so bad. Opponent's gonna be maybe getting the point back if I don't get it. Come on. Okay, he's off. He's done. Okay, Manticore, this one's on you. Oh boy, that was nasty. All right. That's another mass route for the boys. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have a handful of time here to try and get some work done. Oh my goodness gracious. And I do have capture weight. We are definitely just gonna chuck that out real quick. That's gonna be a mass rout amongst the forces of the Beastmen. Again. Alright, there you go. Just wiping them up, cleaning them out. Gonna get a pretty good spell cast over there too. Okay, now I gotta think about getting this point. So I have about 5 minutes. That's doable. At least. That is doable. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, nice. I'll be a good amount of deeps. Then if I can hopefully win this before too long, life will be good. Because I also need to still win this. Ooh, nice. Got him routed. I need to win this before the timer runs out. I have a limited amount of time here. Shouldn't be too hard getting this though. Especially with the Marathi support. I have more Doom and Darkness casts. And they didn't reinforce this area, which is the most important part. Okay, these guys should be chased off pretty hard. This is some Centaur great weapons. But we can just face charge them. And then hopefully rout them off. Then I just have to secure the points. And then I'm good to go. Unfortunately, I do not have much in the way of cavalry. So I'm kind of stuck spamming infantry. Well, there you go. That's a solid route. And I should be able to break these guys off. And then it's just the holding of the middle here I gotta worry about. That'll take some time. It'll take some sweet time getting down, but I think we can do it. You gotta remember, I still have a Manticore. The Manticore is a king here. I just need those Dark Riders back ASAP. Alright, here we go. So first things first, we got the Melkoths. Going to, God, I really need those Dark Riders, don't I? Okay, we're gonna run in with the Manticore. I'm gonna hopefully mass route these guys. Okay. Big route. Okay, and then it's just holding this point. That should be fairly doable. Witch Elves are here, so they got that one. High ground is looking pretty good. I just have to hold this one, and then we're good. He's spamming dogs, which are not very good at trading, thankfully. And then, yeah, I think we just use Marathi here with the Melkoths. The dogs get obliterated. Very good. The assassin just has to sit on the point. You gotta remember, all my guys have a sick leadership buff. I think we did it. I think we did it. Hell yeah. All right. Sick. Well, that was terrifying. Quite the match, I must say. Oh my goodness. Dude, the Manticore terror routes crushed it so hard this game. Oh boy. But yeah, there ain't no way he's coming back. It's just gonna be a constant Melkoth spam until the end of the match. What a crazy match though. Ah, alright. Good stuff. Now I just need to find a match in time, which will be a little difficult. I'm hoping my opponent taps out sooner. If they don't, you know, all power to them, but this is pretty done for now. There's essentially nothing left here that can be done to pull it back. It's just, yeah. I still have a Doom and Darkness. Great thing is it's minus 18 leadership, too. Alright, nice. We did it. Woo! Okay, now I just need to find a match in a few minutes. Yes! We can match against H4. Hell yeah. Dude, I thought we were so dead after the first engagement. Oh, man. GG, well played. I thought I was so dead. And then I didn't chase their lord off properly. That was so rough. Marathi paid for herself though. She was sick. Thank goodness I got that lord snipe. Dude, the power amped Doom and Darkness was insane. That got so much value. Oh. Oh, right. Sick. Okay. H4 is the top person right now. So if we beat him, we're good. If we beat him, we qualified. Oh, man. Crack open a cold one. Oh. Alright. What are they playing? Kislev on one snowfield. Okay. Okay, alright. This is not the biggest map, not the most kitey map. Kislev is annoying. But I think we can deal with them. In fact, this could be pretty good. Let's try this out. Kislev is an interesting faction. They have some absolutely terrifying cavalry. I do have Cold One Knights though, which are just generally good at trading. And I also have some very good magic, which I think we'll be employing today. Let's go ahead and try this out. Oh man, dude, I can't believe I won that one. I feel like I had no business winning that one, but the mass terror routes on the Manticore were so good. It's true, the DLC only being $5 is pretty nice. It's not too bad. For some people, it's still not going to be worth, but I think it's fine. Back when I was getting back when I was buying DLCs myself and not getting coach from CA, you know, you get a start position, you get some units. It's like it's fine. But all power to you if you feel like it's not worth it for you specifically. Let's see here. We're up against the Kislevites. Kislev is a little scary. Their cavalry is really good. But that's about it. Like, if you just hard counter their cavalry, they can be pretty weak sauce. They're not that good of a ranged faction either. Like, first and foremost, they're a cav faction. And I think if we exploit that aspect of the faction, then I'll be good to go. I'd say my build feels pretty good. Fills me with joy. Alright. See how this gets done. Can we take the corrupt version of the map? I haven't played on Corrupt Blasphemous Snowfield. Let's do Slanesh Corruption in honor of the Dark Elves. I would give Dark Elves like a B+, maybe like an A ranking. I don't know if they're... The thing is, you don't... In terms of 3x3 pick rate, you don't see Dark Elves that often. Because they kind of get countered and they're not that great at counterpicking. And they're not generically strong like Norska. Dark Elves is like B tier is where faction mains shine the most. A tier is where you have people who will pick up the faction as a means to improve how well they do in a 3x3 matrix. And S tier is even people who hate the faction are learning it to win tournaments. So like Norska and Slanesh are S tier because when I play in the big tournaments, they're always being run. But Dark Elves it's really only Danican and Ponty that will run them out often, right? High Elves, it's Zarix. Skaven, it's Zarix. So those factions would be like B or C tier. And like an A tier faction might be like Vampire Counts. Wow, this map is very pink. This is awfully pink, but alright. I should give Ironclaw Tiger 7 capture weight, since they're more expensive than Celestial Dragon Guard. Yeah, the capture weight thing is very arbitrary. CA are not consistent at all there. You can make up arguments for all sorts of things. But I think if Giant Slayers can have 7 capture weight, I think it makes a lot of sense that Ironclaw Warriors should also be that way. Here's my shade stack, by the way. This is technically shade maxing because you can only take a max of 4 shades. Ready, good luck, have fun.
Dark Elves. Using dark magic. Shades.
He accidentally said C tier for Skaven. I will say, among some circles, people actually do say Skaven are really good. But those circles tend to be directly beside Zarix. So, I don't know how applicable that is. Technically, it is true though, like, units are gonna be... Like, factions are gonna be strong when you have someone just maining them. Which is the nice thing about the game. You can fight balance just by being really good at the one thing. Now, when people actually start learning your playstyle and countering you specifically, that's when you get wrecked. But, there's a lot of people that actually shine with supposedly subpar factions. Come on, scoot up, I dare you. Is that a little Grom? It is.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Alright. So, let's see. What's a little Grom doing? He's gonna be shooting at my artillery pieces. Just gonna dodge with them. In a sense. Shades. Already getting a good amount of deeps. And I'm gonna have double Medusa Kite coming in. So I have Buna versus his elite cavalry. Don't have to worry about that. And the Shade should be pretty nasty. He does have the Ice Breath ability. That's not a big deal. And okay. Just a Dervish arriving onto the battlefield. They are not particularly scary though. I'll just avoid them. And there goes Katarine. Mega DPS on her. Shades are nasty. Definitely not a unit you can just ignore. And then we're just gonna do some Shade Kite over here. Very fun little strategy. Come on. There we go. And then I'm going to get my artillery to start shooting. That should be pretty rough. Plus the Medusa sniping. That one gets staggered though. Whoops. Looked away for a second. I do have a lot to micro. That one's gonna get the shot. However, and that's gonna be pretty good deeps. Shades are doing pretty well for themselves. And are they gonna commit to this fight? Ooh, that's not that great for them. Shades are pretty nasty, man. They're pretty nasty. I don't know if you wanna be taking that fight. And there's some winged lancers too. But do I have to worry about them? No, I brought Buna. So that'll be pretty good. Mega volley from the Medusas going well. Let's just keep Shade Kiting. Buna gets chucked out. Wasn't able to disengage fast enough. So that's basically a dead unit over there. And the Medusas with the flank shots. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Some very big DPS on that front. Now little Grom is focusing one of the Medusas. I just have to keep dodging with them. Whoop. That'll be okay. I'm gonna give up this point because I think we're value trading well enough. Yeah, the value trade is insane here. Is he just gonna commit the Griffin Legion? It might be. That'll be quite interesting. Ooh, geez, yo, Katarin's kind of dying though. Ooh, yeah, and the Griffin Legion passive procs, or not the Griffin Legion, but the Wing Lancers. That's just rough. So that basically puts my opponent in just a terrible position. Katarin does get a little Wind Blast ability, but that's not going to do very much. And then I think we just transition here into just shelling this side with my artillery. And then using the Medusas to push the center. I might even be able to kill Katarin if I'm lucky. Double Medusa shot on her face. Very painful. Pulled away even though Buna, I actually don't have the magic for it. But unless you're counting magic, it can be very hard to keep track. Katarin's not looking too good. Ooh, there's a cav charge. Very nasty. Is that gonna get her? I think she's gonna barely live, but this is still a very, very rough game here. They do have the high ground, but they're being shelled. Let's take a look at the cav fights. My cav fighting could be a little bit better. I'm finding. I'd love to get a Buna there, but I don't think I'm getting it. And we do lose one Medusa. The question is, do we have a Patriarch or something on the way? We do. That's a little awkward. Because then his lord is indeed going to live. No Patriarch. Okay, that's good. How's my lord doing? How are my shades doing? Pretty well for themselves. Let's see if we can get another pot shot on Katarin. Ooh, that cannon barely clipped the Medusa. I do have the passive triggered though. Okay, let's kill these Kossars. Very good. Nice, we have some of our boys coming back into the fights. And then if I just murder the Griffin Legion with a little bit of Buna action, I'm happy. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little slow how quickly I can get that magic going. I do have the point at least. Okay, there we go, finally. So that should just murder the Griffin Legion. Medusa's still doing great, by the way. I will say these Medusas are nasty. Fortunately, man, Little Grom is also very nasty, though. And there's no way I'm going to be able to kill Little Grom, but I can make it where I win the game before it ends me. Should be another very nice shot on Katarin. So I have enough for one more Buna. I have this lady to get a fourth Buna if I really need it. But I think, yeah, we're going to save that for the late game, of course. The Cold One Knights are actually really devastating, too. That's mostly because Little Grom is too busy trying to deal with the Medusas. It can't deal with everything else. And I think we can probably get Katarin dead soon. Manage to dodge a Little Grom shot, too. And I think this is going to be it. We're kind of copying a playstyle that we ran into earlier in the grand finals against Chosen, where I learned that kiting Kislev is actually really painful. They don't actually have that many tools to deal with. Or no, it was the other way around. Whoopsies. Regardless, it's still going good for me. Wait, no, I was playing as Cathay, and I was getting kited by Kislev. But I think the idea is the same. Infantry-based factions can suffer against this kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know if my bolt throws are doing anything, though. But yeah, infantry-based factions, if you get outranged and just shot up, it can be pretty bad. There goes his lord. Very nice. And I think we've done it pretty solid. Unfortunately, the lag gets worse. It's chugging. It's yeah, let's just rampage these witch elves in. They're gonna take a pretty nasty charge, but I'm hoping that they get enough damage back where it's worth. You know, maybe I should have just used the bolt throwers to kill Little Grom. Maybe that was my big misplay. It's fine though. Yeah, the little Grom dodges. Yeah. Yo, dodging with Lil Grom is pretty crazy, especially because I'm struggling dodging with Medusas, which are way more maneuverable.
I knew it. Unending
Alright, GG. GG well played. That's gonna be a win. And that's gonna secure my place in the top 4. Putting me in, yeah, squarely in first place. Look at that. So I'm gonna be up against Caradoc, and it's gonna be H4 versus Potatoes Devil. Very nice. Artillery did not do much. Medusas actually got kind of shut down there too. They were busy dancing, but the Shades were able to just sit and shoot. Shades did positively amazing. We just deleted the heavy cav. Buna is honestly just like the easy counter to Kislev. Imagine Kislev without Griffin Legion or Winged Lancers. That's yeah, that's a doozy. So just run Buna if you ever struggle against them. Worked out pretty well for me. And looks like that's a victory. Not a fan of Kislev campaign either, dang. Alright, I'm up against Caradoc. That brings our win-loss to 3-1. Not bad. Who did I lose to first today? Who is the Tomb Kings player that just wrecked my face? Was it, oh crap, it was Caradoc. Oh, jeez. Alright. It's the person I'm facing. We're on excavation site. It was Caradoc? Oh, alright. Thankfully this map is huge. That helps me. That helps me a lot. Alright. Oh boy. No way Dark Elves are below A tier. I would say B plus A minus. I don't think they're in the high A tier though. There's too many other factions that go well there. When you have Slanesh, Norska, Vampire Counts, Coast, Wood Elves, Beastmen. Let's see here. Yeah, when you have all of those guys, I feel like you basically fill up S and A tier. And like, and Dark Elves are not on that level, right? Dark Elves are not on the same level as Wood Elves, Coast Counts, Beastmen. They're definitely not on the same level as Norska and Slanesh. So I think they get high B tier or low A tier. Even like high elves can kind of tussle. And then you have like greenskins. Like if dark elves are A tier, then greenskins are A tier, and you just have everyone on A tier. That doesn't make sense. You love their flavor. I think dark elves have some cool flavor. Here's the thing: if you want to win a grand finals with them, just watch Danny Kane. The dark elves absolutely can win. They're just not the tippy toppest faction. Doesn't mean that they're bad though. Okay, this should be interesting. This should be a fun one. So up against Tomb Kings. What a menace. They got their sepulchral stalkers. Just the guiding potential. They can summon the artillery pieces. But me, what do I have? I have a few tools. There's some Scourge Runner shenanigans I can pull. Honestly, Scourge Runner shenanigans aren't the worst. They, as if you dodge well enough with them, they can get the job done. But you have to dodge really well. There's just a bunch of Ushopti. You could just be screwed. Though you can outrange them and then just shoot them to death. That has happened to me. and it is quite annoying. Outside of that, though, what am I running? What do I run? The Witch Elves were a little lackluster. It might just be Bleak Sword spam. It's kind of just a unit that gets the job done. It's either that or Corsairs. Corsairs are not bad. Cavalry-wise, I have to be careful. There's a lot of magic that can bully your cavalry. And Dark Riders, in fact, do not do that well versus the Skeleton Cav. Skeleton Cav are pretty annoying, it turns out. No, I could do this. Are Assassins good versus Tomb Kings? If I was facing Dandakan and I was playing Tomb Kings, would he have Assassins? Maybe. Tomb Kings just hard counter the Dark Elf roster? Don't say that. Give me some hope. Is it that bad? Is it that bad? I did have double Hydra last time, which was kind of silly. Admittedly, double Hydra may indeed not be the solution. If I was Danican, I would take Scourge Runners and just dodge. Just dodge. Can't be that hard. Just don't get hit. Easy peasy. Maybe that's what I do. And then once everything's dead, I just spam a bunch of like Corsairs, and their silly cavalry can't kill them all. We get the victory, huzzah! Party it up. Do I need a Manticore? What do I need? It's probably gonna be a giant Sphinx and the like. You need infantry that's not just gonna die to horsemen. And that's basically just Corsairs for me. Not the end of the world, but I do feel slightly uncomfortable. What if I just have a Doomfire Warlock? What if I just Doombolt his lord to death? This map doesn't have any Doombolt cover, which is kind of hilarious. What if? What if I make use of that? This map has no Doombolt cover. Hold up. Wait, just a darn second. Is that the most OP thing in the world? Maybe not. I think I'm going a little overkill here with this loadout, but maybe it's sick. The thing is, if the Lord's cheap, if the Lord is cheap, then there's no point doom bolting them because they'll just be resummoned. Gotta be a little careful. Anyone know if Crows of Cain can shut down the artillery piece? Or if I just camp the Crows of Cain above the artillery? Will that get the job done, maybe? Dude, I feel so helpless here. Against the might of the Tomb Kings. Alright, this'll do. I think this'll do. Yeah, how much? Oh man, because if I go for a Lord Snipe, then I don't have Burning Head anymore. And that's a problem, bro. That's a big problem. Archer Lord on the flying horse and just shoot him to death? Maybe. It could be a Cetra. Could be a big old Cetra the Imperishable. Yeah, Crows of Cain kind of got wrecked. I'm not using them right, but Harpies are not super great at fighting. I kind of made the very easy misplay to make of summoning in the unit because it's a Vanguard unit that can help out quickly. But if it's just gonna get wrecked, you're just losing money at that point. Okay, I think I have some interesting options. I think I do need some more infantry. Alright, there's a lot going on in this build. I don't know if it's directed well. But the map is big, so it should be pretty hard for Tomb Kings to reinforce and actually get on the points. And then I just gotta do what Danican would do and just dodge. Although this build is slightly different from your traditional Danican. I've gone for Chariots and Medusa. Blackguard Rush. Imagine how happy they would be. One screaming skull catapult, screaming for joy. Channel the soul of Danican into your body and Smurf. Just let Danican take over the keyboard. Danican take the wheel. Alright. So, very simple idea. Go for the low ground with the infantry, because I think they'll play for high ground. Pretty good luck, have fun. I got Fireball, in case we do see an artillery summon. And I have a sneaky second caster with Doombolt and Power of Darkness. Now, she's really expensive, so if I'm gonna bring her in, I basically need a Lord that is decked out and super snipeable. If it's a Cetra, that's not gonna happen. But if it's like a COD tap, yeah, I think I would want to get this lady on the battlefield. Gank mid with the jungler. That would be you know, they should release a map that is just a League of Legends map. How balanced would that be? Sounds like choke point hell. Alright, let's take a look. So we're gonna have some skirms as usual. We're gonna have some Ushapti Great Bow, and it's gonna be a Kotep. Not a very decked out Kotep though, so that's a sign that yes, they just want to. They just want them to die and be resummoned. There's gonna be no giant, you know, Cetra or anything. That was an okay dodge, nothing too crazy. Alright, but there are Ushapti. Now, contrary to what a lot of people would normally go for, I'm just going to, yeah, just let my chariots get the work done. And just don't fear the Ushapti, essentially. Just don't fear them. Oh crap, those are stalkers. Interesting. Well, I'm just gonna move my chariots there. It's fine by me. Lord is just gonna run for the hills. And we're just gonna hopefully get these guys killed. The Medusas, I think, can stagger their entities by getting an attack. If I just get a free stalker unit here, that's just great. I got the point underway. Very nice. We got the middle point. Mid has been ganked. And with no stalkers, it's pretty bad for my opponent, actually. Now, if Kotep gets low, I can also get some work done, and I look forward to that. It's not too bad. It's a solid, just like, you know, early game pressure. I might even just chuck out some fireballs on his face, just to get some work done. Yeah, those guys are dead. Ooh, man, that's brutal even. I'd say that's a solid start. If these Scourge Runners keep cooking, I'm happy. There we go. There they go, shattering. It's very hard to see on this map. But you can just barely see the projectiles coming out, and then you can dodge them. Just keep working Kata. Very nice. Fireball is hurting him pretty bad. And then we can use the Scourge Runners to bully the Ushapti here. Could chuck out a Burning Head, but I think that's not very much so needed just yet. There we go. And the Scourge Runner's getting lots of damage. Yeah, look at them. Kind of hunting those guys down. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so that's some good Ushapti bullying. But my opponent will still have 2 capture points. And they are spamming Ushapti here. If I keep dodging these guys though, and they eventually run out of ammunition, I'm happy. They're not really making huge plays or anything. They're just targeting my infantry, which is pretty lackluster. Especially if the infantry can dodge. Medusas are chilling. They're having a good time. Not bad. I think we get this lady out now. She's gonna Doombolt Kotep. Because the kiting is going pretty decent, I'd say. I still have the double cap, mind you. And one overcast Doombolt on Kotep could really mess the man up. It is not a perfect situation. Still gonna need a lot of infantry. But yeah, if we just kill this man, that would be good. I'm gonna get a little bit of a charge here with my boys. Oh, he dodged it. How'd he dodge it, bro? That's crazy. All right, guy's insane. Well, that kind of messes things up, doesn't it? All right, plan B. I'm gonna need to use the Medusas here. That changes things up a lot. The guy just dodged. He just dodged. People say Doombolt always hits. That's okay. I'll manage. I'm just gonna keep the Medusa kite going. Where are those Ushapti targeting? We'll see. Oh, hey, it's another unit of stalkers. Hell yeah. At least I know I can bully those guys. Get all the Scourge Runners on them. Hell yeah. And then I'll get some cavalry. Gotta be a little careful with the little Medusas over here. If I kill these guys, I'm happy. So you know the secrets? Is there like some weird crazy Ushapti dodge you can do against Doombolts? Or what? We'll see. That one lands. Okay, that one. And it hurts pretty bad too. I'll take that. One more normal Doombolt cast should get the job done. Okay, let's keep working them. There's gonna be a Tomb Scorpion here. That's okay. I was a little frivolous with my usage of my ammunition here. And that might screw me over if I'm not careful. The Kotep is low at least, and I still have lots of magic. It should be a decent Burning Head. And with the chariot support, I think we should be able to get that done. Now, what you want to do, you have to be a little careful. But essentially, you got to save the actual kill for the main fight. I have to be careful that I don't accidentally time it wrong. But I want all of his units crumbling as much as possible. That second kill though is good on the stalkers. That's gonna be pretty nice. Kotep still getting a little bit of work done though. Ouch. Killing off a cold one knight's actually pretty good for my opponent. But I get to kill a Sepulchral Stalker. I'm not too bummed out. And we'll see how this goes. I don't have that many summons, so I have to be a little careful. This little flank is a little cute, though. And okay, it's just going to be just a bunch of cav. That's honestly fine. I'm not too worried about that. Genuinely so. That's not very bad. Because I can just catch them. At least that's the hope. This lady has to be a little careful though. She can't afford to die to Ushapti. But this should be pretty punishing. I can use my Medusas to stagger him here. I can run away from those Ushapti. Not bad, I'd say. Not bad. Okay. Let's check out a rogue burning head over here. Maybe they don't notice. And those Ushapti are a little low on ammunition. So that'll make life a little easier. I just need to get my infantry in here. And then maybe we'll be alright. It's gonna be a hard maybe though. How are the Medusas doing? They're doing okay. Oh crap, my passive triggered. Well, I guess it's time to try and kill this guy. This is a little awkward. I mistimed the passive, which I should be a little bit more conscious about. But I guess we're just YOLOing it. Value trading wise, I don't even know how well we're doing. These Ushapti are going to be a menace. Codtap is low. He's very low. And I think we can probably just run him down. It ain't too bad. And then I can use these chariots here to start stealing points. They don't actually want to stay in combat very much. They'd much rather just sit back and chill. Here we go. I need that Lord loss penalty. Okay, decent fight. Far side is going a little sketchy though. But this is very okay. I should be able to secure this point at least. Chariots though are gonna have to be very careful. And I suppose he's gonna be spamming cavalry up the wazoo in this location. It's very important that the Medusas are at the ready. But okay, looks like this point is going. The Codtap is dead, which is perfect. That is a maximum Lord loss penalty going on right now. And then I just got to play the points, I think. Maybe even a burning head down the pipe over here just to crumble away some horsemen. And then the Medusas for some capture weight. Medusas plus chariot to make sure that we hold on to this point. Then I'll get this point at the same time. And then in theory, everything's perfect. Everything's happy-go-lucky. In theory. Really depends on how this point is going. I think they'll be able to steal this one soon. But the one over here is kind of TBD. It could go either way, realistically speaking. Middle is going to be mine. If I hold onto this one, I think we got it. Because this army's pretty slow. So that's basically my win con that I'm playing for here. It's going to be a little nasty. But the chariots are very good at just chilling in the fight. And we do get the point. Very perfect indeed. These boys just need to disengage. Because I'm going to need them later. For when the real fight begins. Which is going to be the hold over here, I think. And the Codtap kill timing was actually perfect for me. By killing him at a time when he would not be resummoned, it makes life a lot more difficult for my opponent. They're going to need to leave some units here to stop these rallied guys from coming back and causing issues. We'll just hold with some bleak swords. And the Medusas are pretty good anti-large specialists. So they'll just get in there and grind. But can I hold on to this point? That I do not know. Over here though, I have a lot of dudes ready and rearing to get that secured. I just don't know if my trading is good enough. I think it's gonna really depend. Can I actually hold this point? There's a lot going here. Codtap's already back too. And he can obviously provide a lot of capture weight. But this over here, if my opponent loses this point, that'd be great. Especially because in the middle here, the Medusas are still alive. Still doing great. So maybe we just dip out of here and then start securing this one with the infantry. It's going to be a little nasty, but I at least have a game plan to get it done. The return of Kotep is going to be bad, though. I'm telling you guys right now. Me missing that one overcast Doombolt was pretty bad for me. And I think the late game's probably just not good enough for me. It's probably not good enough. Value trading is down too. Dang it. I probably should have tried farming more value with the Medusas. But yeah, now that we're actually in the melee, this is just getting ugly. Oh, that was a valiant effort. But yeah, I just can't uptrade into him. I think if I use the, if I didn't waste so much ammo on my Scourge Runners, I think I could have gotten something done. But yeah, everybody's routing now. GG. Tough battle, man. Tough battle. Anything I can do to come back? Don't think so. Got a little bit of a charge here on the Skeleton Horsemen. I think I really should have done more with the Medusa. So they were chasing off the Sepulchral Stalkers the whole game. Any way I can pull back? You know, maybe if they overcommit on this point. No, I'm triple capped. Dang it, man. This lady was cool, but she was not worth it. GG. Well played. Ah, brutal. It's a tough one, but that's the semifinals. Let's take a look-see. A lot of skeleton warriors, so there's a ton of skirmishing that goes on with the horse archers. There's not a whole lot you can do about them. I think you just want to dodge them and use your Scourge Runners to kill higher priority targets. Killing off the Sepulchral Stalkers was really good for me, and that's what gave me a pretty good chance. But at the end of the day, I couldn't take the fight against the Ushapti. They're just a little too much of a menace. Alright. I'll set up spec slot and you can wait for finals. Yeah, the value difference jumped up really fast. The issue was not having an answer for the Ushapti. The normal Ushapti. I also really don't know how I'm supposed to deal with these skeleton horsemen. Menacing. Absolutely menacing. My Scourge Runners did okay, so they only just paid for themselves. Same with the Medusas. Coursers really didn't do well. So there was no real artillery outside of like a random casket of souls. Yeah. The Coursers didn't really do much at all if you look at their value. So the Coursers were not a great idea. Especially running into this Mass Ushapti core. The Cold One Knights, maybe they could have done a lot though. I think if I get one strong dedicated push of Cold One Knights, they might be able to win the fight. Maybe with like a Kotep snipe. But yeah, I think opting for both lores of magic is what did me in. Just a little too much inefficiency here, but like if we replace this with Cold One Knights and then just got one big devastating charge, maybe it'd be enough to break the lines. Maybe. I don't know if Shades would do well. I think they would just get shot to death. Dread Spears? Dread Spears? No, because the Coursers died to Ushapti charges after getting bogged down by infantry. It's not much you can do there. I could have gone for Bolt Throwers though. Bolt Throwers are not bad versus the Ushapti. So in kind of that long game, maybe a Bolt Thrower or two could have done something. It's not like they're going to push across the map to get him killed. I think there's a few things to play around with. But yeah, I also mistimed my big charge. The big charge. All right, Potatoes Devil and H4. know when done. All right, let's see how this goes. H41. They're gonna be up against Tomb Kings, and the map is Imperial Ambush. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, the Doombolt dodge was so much potential damage. It was so much potential damage. But sometimes you're gonna miss. The thing is though, it's not like your build should hinge on one Doombolt hitting. There's like multiple factors that put me behind at the end of the day. I think it is winnable. Like a Danican can absolutely win that one. I think with just like perfect Scourge Runner, ammunition control, and then yeah, it's getting into dodges, maybe some cycle charges. Because the Scourge Runners bought me a lot of space, and I just wasn't using them as effectively as I could have. Although killing the Stalkers was really good, but yeah, I think I could have done a lot more. If you go for a ton of Dark Shards, you're probably just gonna get artilleried or shot to death. The Ushopti are pretty okay at trading into that. Was it worth the Winds of Magic to kill Kotep? Pretty worth in the moment, but because I wasn't able to close out the game while he was dead, that screwed me over. So like after we killed him, I was able to push onto some points, get some pretty good value trades. It might have been better to just kill the chariots though. Catching the stream for the first time in a while, hell yeah! We're doing good. I'm just trying to figure out how do I beat Tomb Kings the Dark Elves. I think it's a sketchy matchup. The undead tend to have a lot of skewed matchups because you need really good infantry clear to beat them. But that's just excuses. I'm pretty sure given enough time I can figure it out. You can kill the DJ Kotep, but the music never dies. Ooh, alright, so this is Kislev versus Tomb Kings. I would say this is also favored for Tomb Kings. But how will it go? That's true. Tomb Kings without infantry can suffer quite a bit, because then you're stuck with just your cavalry. So there are some builds where you just go really hard on the infantry clear. Burning Head, of course, being pretty good. You can just infantry rush them too. Just mega infantry rush, but you do need a fairly wide line to pull it off. It's not bad though, especially if they go too heavy on like the Ushopti and the like. But we'll see. Maybe Kislev has some sick plays. I know Little Grom can be pretty good here. If you bring a Bolt Thrower too with the Dark Shards, Bolt Throwers won't get in range of the Screaming Skull catapults. You'd have to push very aggressively with them. But yeah, even then your Dark Shards don't have that many targets to actually shoot. It's like ogres when all the Noblars die. Yeah. You never played multiplayer? Well, welcome. This here is a fun tournament. There were a decent number of new players joining in too to try and get in on that sick raffle, which will be wrapping up soon in about after this game, like 15 minutes. Yeah, I should have killed Codtap and then Cold One Night Charge into his stuff. I did give Codtap a big, like, huge, like almost 500 gold on them in the middle of the fight. That was my bad. Honestly, there's a lot to optimize. Foot Helibron. Honestly, a full foot squad, as long as they don't get bogged down, I do think the Ushapti surround would shut that down pretty hard. But yeah, you can just go for the foot characters. And just walk them forwards and shut down whatever you want. Some assassins, maybe. Oh my gosh, what is this? Double bone giant? Are you kidding me? The double bone? Alright. Against double Grom. Okay, alright. So we're gonna see horse archer skirmishers again. Those guys are very popular with the Tomb Kings because they capture you points early on, and if you start with them, they can get that value with their shots. This is kind of crazy though. Double bone giant versus double little Grom. Yeah. Welcome to the bone zone. Maybe losing was worth it if we get to see this madness. Look at those guys in all their glory. Oh. Oh. Ready to fire away. Now these guys have a mighty range of 350. And Lil Grom has 420 range. So Lil Grom does outrange them. Otherwise, we see some infantry, some armored Kossars, some normal Kossars. Katerin on a nice horse with some ice just embedded into its body, I guess. It's a magical horse. No, is it part of the armor? It's part of the armor, I see. There it is. I thought it just had ice growing out of it. We're good, though. Katerin's pretty cool. She got the anti-infantry. She got the anti-lord strats. Solid. Nothing too crazy. Just a bunch of good stuff. Now, both infantry corps are going to be slightly smaller because of the whole bone giant artillery situation. And that means it's not going to be a lot of action with the infantry fights. I doubt they're just going to walk forward. What essentially is going to happen, both players are going to have to decide who has the range advantage, who can actually put on the pressure. This texture is a little weird, but anyways, who can put on enough pressure to force the other person to attack? Because both of these armies are obviously not very attack heavy. Here come the dervishes, the horse archers. I think they did just, yeah. Skeleton horse archers want none of that business, apparently. Good to see, good to see. It's just a nice, casual little back and forth. Capture point is secured in the name of Kislev. Second point, gonna be taken soon. But I know what you guys are really here for. Boom. Bone Giant secures first blood. 3 kills immediately, as those arrows do explode on impact. Second shot onto the Katerin. No dodge. I do think those arrows are slightly homing though, so you gotta be careful. Slightly homing, but not that homing. I think the arrows are very slightly homing, but the bone giants are quite inaccurate. And another one. Oof. All right, bone giants, you're not making a good name for yourselves. They're doing their best though. How can we judge them if they're just trying to have a good time? Look at him. Oh, he's getting closer. Oh, look at this guy. He wants in on the action. He's loading it up. Here it comes. And it's gonna be back to the horse archers because Katerin's too fast. She booked it. Very nice. Another shot in. Honestly, the damage is pretty low. But Tomb Kings are in it for the long con. They've also brought in some Ushapti too to pepper these armored Kossars. And I would say Caradoc has a pretty good initial lead. Little Grom doing his best. Oh, and that's a miss. I think did that just kill one skeleton? No, that's a cannonball. I see. That forces the Ushapti back. But the Ushapti forcing the cannons forwards does mean that they're getting shot at by the bone giants now. Now they do clip the Ushapti, but we're in a proper artillery duel now. Bone Giants loading up, getting ready to bully the little Groms. That's one hit. Are we gonna see two? Indeed, we see two. Here's the thing about single entities, though. It doesn't matter how low their HP gets. As long as they live, they're still basically at maximum effectiveness unless the wounds kick in. And honestly, wounds doesn't make that much of an impact anyways. Another artillery gets summoned, though. So Tomb Kings is basically saying, I only care about artillery. Give me nothing but artillery. Quite a scary build that we got here. He knows that he's not exactly going to be rushed at all. And they're confident that they can defend their artillery with a pretty massive supply bank. So if cavalry do get sent in to shut it down, they're just gonna die. Main fight is underway though. Tickets are still fairly low. The Tomb Kings have pushed up aggressively. So the big question now is, are we gonna see a big fight? 1 mini charge in the trees. Winged Lancers getting a little caught up. The stats are not that much better than the Skeleton Horsemen actually. But they have 80 armor. And the charge is insane. So Skeleton Horsemen do take a lot of damage. Winged Lancers coming in on the main front. But they're just going to get stopped by Ushopti. Nice play from Caradoc. They're doing well. As Ushopti just shut down those Winged Lancers like no one's business. I don't think they're going to make it out. An unfortunate situation for the Kislevites. I'd say this is looking bad for Kislev. They're down 1,500. I think the Tomb Kings are just gonna straight up win. This is pretty rough. Little Groms are getting bullied by the Bone Giants too. I think we're probably gonna see a double Bone Giant win. A nice just tactical advance. Putting the Kislevites in an impossible situation. Did whiff a Skull Storm, it happens. But against all odds, Kislev does still hold this point with their meager amounts of infantry. If there's one way Kislev wins, it's on tickets, because they're not winning on value right now. But at the end of the day, Tomb King's infantry are not infinite. If Kislev finds a way to clear this out, there's a lot of potential. But look at that, one little Grom routing, other one very injured. There's honestly not a lot of Kislev left on the battlefield. Yeah, we got a handful of horse archers here, but I don't know, man. This ain't too pretty. Double Bone Giant hit again on the little Grom, and they're still working on the Chosen of the Gods. And you gotta remember, these Bone Giants are still giants. They can kind of just fight on the point and get a lot of damage, but okay. Big little spell over there. Katerin getting the good deeps. Catapult friendly firing a little bit. Doesn't matter. Not a big deal. But are the Tomb Kings actually going to get this point? They're flooding it quite well. But they don't have enough. We have a few idle units on the flanks here. Gonna see a pretty solid charge, actually, of Skeleton Horsemen on the Dervishes. They'll actually really need to pull back. That's quite a bit of deeps. But they're not going to rout. Here's the thing, though. It's a triple cap. If the Tomb Kings don't capture this point soon, it's pretty bad. Now, they have the means to do so. They have 4 units of cavalry that can actually capture this in a few seconds. Maybe Caradoc doesn't care. Maybe they feel like this game is over. But yeah, they kind of just let themselves get triple capped. I don't know why we aren't seeing a push onto here. It could just be they're so focused on the value trading. It's better to just army wipe the Kislevites than it is to worry about the points. I can totally see that happening, but this map does have a home point that could be very hard for the Tomb Kings to get. But if you look at the value lead, at the current pace, I think Kislev is going to get army wiped. Now, maybe let's not stress ourselves out too much. Yeah, there we go. They're finally pushing onto the point. But I think Caradoc is very comfortable right now. I think this is a sign that they feel like this is donezo. Katerin's getting blasted. She ain't looking too good. And Kislev, I think they will technically win on 1 capture point, but they're not exactly a point stealing faction. Kislev doesn't do that well once it's just, you know, 1 infantry at a time. Maybe if it's a cavalry, but even here, that's a little sketchy. Catapult is still alive too. It's just farming these guys. And even though the ticket lead is very high, the moment the Tomb Kings get their second point, they'll be fine. In fact, they have 5 minutes right now to stay double capped, and they would still be comfortable. Katarin's straight up dying too. But who knows? Maybe Kislev gets enough units here to just steal the point back. Look, if Kislev gets a triple cap again, props to them. 5k value lead, yeah. Oh, Katarin, you just miscast yourself to death. Lore accurate miscast. Oh, that's not good. Look, if Kislev can get a triple cap going again, yeah, maybe they'll be okay. But skeleton horse archers are the ultimate in stealing points. You can see they're doing very well over there. There's a necrotech too with the Van Braces of the Sun. Very fun tech. It's basically a Helm of Discord permanent. Long as the guy is alive, whatever he's fighting is just doing very badly. And the Tomb Kings secure the next point. Now, technically, Kislev wins on 1 point. Here's the thing. They're gonna need to hold it for a long time. We're talking like 8 minutes. This battle is 9 minutes long. So by the time Kislev wins on tickets on this last point, the battle will have been twice as long. And I do not think that being down 14,000 value will be a good situation for the Kislevites. We can hope though. Would be a miracle if Kislev wins. Yeah, I think Tomb Kings can yeah, they just gotta walk up. Kislev's doing their best though. They got a charge on these skeleton horse archers. Pretty big deeps. We're gonna get a second charge on these skeleton horse archers. Pretty minimal deeps. But that's not gonna kill them very quickly. The point is captured. And look at this necrotech. He's just chilling, debuffing everything. Is there anything that can be done? It's only 7,000 value, don't exaggerate. 7,000 now. It's going to be 14,000 by the time Kislev would supposedly win. But yeah, this is pretty done for. Very clinical. Caradoc playing a very clean Tomb Kings game. Congratulations. GG, well played. Caradoc. GG's, well played. You get a DLC of your voice as a prize. Congratulations. All right, well, let's get the raffle going. Let me just There we go. Bone giants are pretty sick. There's no way of shutting them down. I think Kislev, they don't have that much to deal with Tomb Kings. They're just nasty. Alrighty. Congratulations to Caradoc. And for the other prize, it's gonna go to Not Pope Patty. Very nice. At Caradoc, congrats on the win. You've also qualified for the finals in a few weeks. Not Pope Patty, which is Pope Patty. You've won the raffle. All right, let's go ahead and get the message. Yo. DLC of your choice, please. And I think we're good. Very well played. Honestly, that was just clinical Tomb Kings play. I'd love to see who beat Caradoc. I think they did lose a game. So, Tomb Kings, they do bleed. But against kind of like your vanilla kind of infantry factions, it seems like they're pretty rough. I wonder how they do versus Empire. You guys think Tomb Kings are good versus Empire? Can they do the same thing? I will say Empire Knights change the dynamic a bit because they're cheaper armored cavalry. Tomb Kings love fighting expensive armored cavalry. You won versus Caradoc earlier as Kislev? Dang. Yo, wild. What'd you do? Betonia DLC? Oof. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. But alright, that's gonna be it. No one added me when submitting replays, so that means no one was interested in me covering replays today. Totally fine by me. Remember, if you want to do this, if you want to sign up for tournaments like this, they are open to all new players. If you are interested, of course, just go to the description on, find my Discord, and you'll be good to go. Mass Zargard. Yeah, what'd you do? Pretty much the same build. Did you like focus the bone giants with Lil Grom? Did they die to him? You haven't been doing well, Empire, with Tomb King so far? Some investigation is needed. I smell a meta shift. Lot more Tomb Kings games. Seeing a lot of undead. The thing is, though, I do wonder, like, it's not too hard to go for the undead counter factions, right? Although I guess a weaker Khorne is a stronger undead. Greenskins can be pretty nice versus undead, though. There's a few options. I forget if Tzeentch is good versus undead. But, yeah, they're still pretty nasty. High Elves are quite good, though. Do High Elves beat Tomb Kings? It's pretty funny. Most factions only, they'll only end up countering 2 of the undead. It's a little sketchy. You sent the replay? Hell yeah. No bone giants in the first game? Huh. Interesting. Alrighty. And they're actually gonna pass the DLC on to someone else. So thankfully we have a second one. Alright. Yo, the raffle was passed on to you. DLC, please. Wait, what? Apparently someone, all right, I got some work to do. 1 second. What is this? Ah, I see. I see. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so many messages. Ah, okay. All right. Let's see here. Set the admin and then we're good to go. All right. All right, we're good. Oh, Dark Elves. How do I feel about them? I don't know. I don't think Dark Elves are a world beater faction. I think if you are a specialist and you really know how to play them, you're good. But it feels like they're just slightly weak on a few fronts. Maybe it's just because I played Tomb Kings twice, though. They did win the 3 other games. They're very strong versus Chaos factions. So like Beastmen, Warriors of Chaos, even Norska Dark Elves can be pretty good against. They can do quite well against the mortal factions like Empires and so on. But Undead, not their thing. We still got to show them off a little bit though. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me. I'm tapping out. Nice short easy stream. Tomorrow we're doing another tournament same time, so we'll see you guys then. Peace.